All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we actually have legendary West Coast hip hop artist straight out of San Francisco. We got the one and only L-Chedda, also known as the Cheddaman, right here, live on the line, man. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How's it going?
Oh, everything's going good down here in Canada, man. Just dealing with that rain and snow and all that fun winter weather, man. How's everything out there on the West Coast, man? I hope everything's all good with this COVID stuff going on, man.
Yeah, it's all good. All the shit, the weather off and on, like it want to rain and shit, but it's good. You know, this Cali, everything. It's the day one day good, the next it could be all bad, man. We be ready for it. Though, you feel me?
But Chedda, I know you're a busy guy, man, so I'm going to dive right into this broadcast. But I want to take you back to the beginning of your iconic career this far, and just ask, like, what actually made you decide to get into the music industry initially, man? Because you have such an extensive, legendary catalog.
Oh man, this shit started way back in the early '80s with the break. Cause I'm 52, so this shit started when I was in the '80s with the break dancing and all. I used to be a DJ like in '80s, back in the early '80s. And all that, and the MC. While we had a DJ crew called the Starter Crew out there in San Francisco in the project, and then we learned that, and then the break dance, and then the Beat Street and all that whole era came up. And I used to be the rapper, like they was DJing, and I do the quick verses, but I make a rap for each party we at, like that, and then just kept going all the way up, and then I stopped and got back in it later on when the youngsters from the neighborhood came to approach me, and I dived back in it full throttle, and that was '91.
And I have to ask,
Yeah,
man, what is the story behind the Starter Crew, man? Because you guys were doing big things out there in San Francisco back in the day.
yeah. We used to battle everybody like different projects when it wasn't really none of that turf fights and all that old bull. So it was just battling DJs, different tapes, go to different neighborhoods and recreation centers and battle different turfs like Hunters Point and all the towers, Geneva Towers, and film on with all our turntables and shit. Do it like that, and then it just grew. It grew, and then the violence started. That '80s and the gang banging got heavy, and it slowed down. And then like '90, it fired back up. The youngsters from the neighborhood got on me about, man, you should put an album out. You should put an album out for us. They used to always run up to the car rapping and shit. And I was like, let me see. I was already doing some street shit, so I didn't really have time for it for real.
And also, as well, in the year 1995, you actually released the classic cassette single titled Ghetto Life under the name LC. I was wondering if you can actually shed some light on this classic project. And of course, for the listeners that haven't had the opportunity to ever hear it, is it actually available on the internet to be streamed or purchased?
Yes, the ghettos, off the ghetto soda, the first single we came with was the Ghetto Life. So I put the CD out in '95. The history to that CD is crazy. Because the first CD we put out on Butt Naked Records, started the label Butt Naked Records with two other people. So we started that in '91. Paperwork, everything, contracts, all that. The official way you're supposed to do it. Got hit over the head for thousands of dollars with the bullshit. And then we started the album. '91, we dropped the album, Down and Dirty Hustlers, Panty Scene. And then in '93, we dropped The Creeper, self-titled. In '95 was when I supposed to came with the album, my own solo album. And then I never did finish it. So I was doing an album with the Ghetto Soldiers on the set over here, and everybody would see me like, man, let me do a song, and let me do this, let me do that. So I was like, man, I see. So all of a sudden I was like, fuck it. I turned that, let everybody get their solo. So I had like 20 beats for my own album. It was my solo project. And then I just started letting people get on it. And I went, man, let me just give this to the community. That's my way of giving back. And then so I put that out in '95, but I did the single first. Because I had already only had one song done, then everybody started reaching out trying to get on it. And then, so I was, fuck it, everybody, we just do it and be done faster. And that's what the Ghetto Soldiers came from, 1995, and I released the first single, Ghetto Life, off of it with a video.
And when we're actually on the topic of ghetto soldiers as well, because like you said, it was a community project. If you don't mind me asking, was there ever any plans to actually set in stone a second Ghetto Soldiers album? Because I got to say, like that album was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, so it's still songs nobody know, just me and DJ Action Jack. So we got to have extra songs. So them was like hand picked. Then I had hella beats, so it was hand picked, and we picked them top. We picked them artists first. So we was doing a Ghetto Soldiers 2 called GS2, Still Strictly Sickly. Like part 2 was called Still Strictly Sickly, and then it never came around. We were slow with it. Then that's when I came with Down and Dirty in '98. But Ghetto Soldiers 2, we had like 4 songs off of it was gonna be put on there that didn't make the first album. It was gonna put some more people on it. But it was strictly for like our neighborhood over in our community. Just for me to give them a chance to shine. And the Ghetto Soldiers 2 was already available. Like it was 4 songs ready right now. I mean right then, back then. But it took off so fast, like we didn't ever get time to do it. It just blew up out of nowhere. And so we just pushed on and it's been eating off that ever since '95.
And those songs that are actually that haven't been released, do you think down the line, if you guys still have the masters or anything like that, do you think us fans would actually be able to get the opportunity to hear those unreleased classic joints at some point?
Yeah, I could check with the producer DJ Action Jack. I know he got him. He keeps everything. He found shit we got since '81, '82, way back there when we first started with cassettes and shit. So he still got it. He still got a couple of songs laying around. Some old video footage with handy cams and everything. I was thinking about putting it out last year when I re-released the Ghetto Soldiers. But I'm going to do it for this year so I have enough time to orchestrate it right. Because like you say, that was so much of a classic. I don't want to water it down with some bullshit.
And also, as well, going back to Butt Naked Records here for a moment, the one thing I've always wondered, man, is what actually made yourself and your colleagues actually decide to start up that iconic label? Because back in the '90s, not everybody, like not a lot of people were actually like creating record labels. Most people were actually like searching for a record deal, but they never had that business mentality like you guys had to actually start up your own record label.
Oh, yeah. See, back then, we was in the streets, heavy. Like full throttle. We was the streets as far as doing the wrong, trying to turn wrongs into right. So it was a lot of money floating around in the '80s. So it was like I say, the artists from the neighborhood used to, because I used to do house parties and shit. So everybody remember me from being, my name used to be Fly LC was my rap name, my artist name Fly LC. So after that, people would just see me and be like, man, you know who all had the most money in the neighborhood where I grew up in the projects and shit? Like, man, y'all should put an album out on me. Do an album. They used to come up to the cars rapping and shit. And I was like, let me check. And I was like, man, the little ones want to do an album. They said, they asked us too. I mean, they asked me too. And then me and my partner got together and we formed Butt Naked Records. That was in '91. And we went through all the channels, all the ways it was. That shit cost so much money. We had the lawyers, everything, management, and then so we started that cost. And then we was like, fuck it, we just gonna go forward with it. We just started spending, making money, just spending. Posters used to cost, everything costed money. And we just were like, we gonna do it, just me and my partner. We just cranked it. We spent hundreds of thousands on that shit.
And also, as well, in the millennium, in the year 2000, you actually released my personal favorite record, titled "So Serious About Mine." I was always wondering, man, what is the story behind this iconic record? And of course, where can we actually purchase ourselves a copy today?
Oh yeah, still today it's on all streaming platforms and stuff. I did put it on a couple of sites and shit, but then I got it on my website, www.teamchedda.com, is where you can find it exclusively from me. Besides that, everybody else be having like the Amazons and shit, but I'm one with the project right here. I'm looking at like shit 50 CDs right now that's So Serious About Mine. That's just sitting in front of me. Yeah, I pressed up when I first did that. I think I did 20,000 CDs, and cassettes was still kind of hot, and I did 7,000 cassettes back then in 2000. But yeah, that was the project. So after I did the video in '95, and then they came with it in '98, another album. I just did the remix to it and finished up the album. So I was like, man, I'm sitting around and ain't doing shit. So I did the album. It came together. I spent a lot of money on putting that project together. Reached out to the New York cats, Peter Guns and Lord Tariq, and just did it like that.
And I gotta say as well, man, one of my favorite joints off that record will always be Thug Hustle, man. Always my go-to joint when I actually when I put in that CD.
Yeah, that's the we did now that one right there. We did that on the spot. So I'm on my way to the studio. And we sliding through another neighborhood called Hunters Point out here in San Francisco, California. So the studio was in Hunters Point. We sliding through Hunters Point and go through a little turf. And then that's where I see Juice and all of them at about 30 people standing outside. And then they like, where you going? I'm like, man, I'm finna slide to the studio, bro. You should fuck with me. And then they're like, man, you going? And then he knew what studio it was. He said, man, give me about 30 minutes. I'll be down there. And he showed up. And when he showed up, he was like, we were just in there smoking, chilling. And I said, man, I pulled up some tracks. He was like, this is nasty. I went, let's do it. And right on the spot, we wrote it. Straight out the head. No, nothing. Just cranked it. Thug Hustle. And that's like my main one because he had me hyped. I always love how Juice flow.
And also as well on Butt Naked Records, man, you actually had a phenomenal artist that I actually remember signed by the name of the Creeper. I was wondering if you could shed some light on this amazing artist, man, because in my personal opinion, I think he only released one record, but it was absolutely phenomenal from first track right to last.
Yeah. So the Creeper album was my album. So this is how I started. Down and Dirty came with their album in '91. We put it out in '91. So I always used to push a date up, like a year up on there, because when you go in stores, you know, somebody sees something, they look at the back and see the date, y'all, this old. So I used to always put my years up ahead, 1 year ahead on each album release, just so it still look new in the stores. So I had tracks laying around. I didn't do nothing. So the Creeper was like, man, you ain't even doing shit. So it was like a really friendly wager bet. He was like, man, I bet I can finish an album faster than you. You still bullshit. And he said, watch this. So he got with some people with Down and Dirty Hustlers, me, and a couple people from the neighborhood, and they helped co-wrote his album for him. And he did that in put that album on 3 weeks, a month, no more than a month and a half. It was already at press, getting pressed up. That fast. So everything just happened on the spot. Nobody knew what they was doing. Just come down, listen to a beat, and write the shit on the spot. And they leave and then bring some more people in for the night session. It happened all together 3 weeks. It was already in the press, getting pressed up. That was fast. He did that. And he don't do music. He just did that as like I said, a friendly wager bet. So if you're looking inside the CD, it say for booking, don't call me because I don't do no motherfucking shows. He just was just a project he just did just to show me, it don't take that long to do no album. And he did it. and it turned out being on one of the top sellers before Golden Ghetto Soldiers came out. I think he sold probably 47,000 CDs, and that's when we were still getting $7.50 per CD and $4.25 a cassette.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, that's some gangsta shit right there, man. You know what I mean? 3 weeks, pressed it, released, and sold that many units, man. Damn, I gotta say, it definitely was a phenomenal record, so I can see exactly how it sold so much so quickly.
Yeah, it did. We didn't think it was gonna take off like that. Yeah, 47,000 copies. I think he had 16,000 cassettes sold on top of it. That was the hottest project till what came with the Ghetto Soldiers, and that just blew the doors off everything.
And also,
Creeper won't do no more album. People ask every day. He don't even want to re-release it. He faded right out.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, this sounds like that type of person that just did one album and didn't really want the fame or anything that comes with the music industry.
Yeah, he don't want it. Yeah, he not undercover, but he like it under. Like he don't like a lot of like that shit, that publicity shit, just like you say. And he ain't never did a show, none of that.
But also, as well, in the year 2001, you actually teamed up with G-Man to actually release the collaborative project titled 34 Village. I was wondering, how did yourself and G-Man actually link up? And of course, what was it like collaborating with him on that project? Because I know throughout the years, you guys actually did some phenomenal records, and I think you just released one with him as well last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, correct, correct. So G was already from the neighborhood growing up, and then just crossing paths, seeing. And so he was out there, getting money, big money and shit with us and shit. So he knew another one of my partners, and then through one of my partners, we hooked up, and then he was like, "I'm coming with a project," and he wanted me to do a verse on it, and so it was on his first album he came with, and I did a verse on it, and while we were sitting there, he was like, "Man, we should come with an album," and we sat there and we hooked some shit up and came with the Trey Folk Village. And then that's that 34 Village. We call it Trey Folk. We came with the Trey Folk Village. But we from two different neighborhoods, but really right close to each other on the same street, where been going to war with each other for years. And it's on the same exact street. So we did it in trying to bring the two streets, the two projects together, because there was a lot of killings and shit when we all on the same street. So we did it. He from down there, and he from Geneva Towers. I'm from Sunnyvale. And so we did the project trying to bring union to the people to stop the violence through music. But I couldn't get the people from Sunnyvale to get on the same song with the people from his project, Geneva Towers. They're like, I ain't getting on the song with them, and then people from the Towers like, I ain't getting on the song with them. So what we did was gave each person a song. So I picked a handful of people from Sunnyvale, he picked the Towers, and we blended them in. But they're not on the same song. But these music you hear is two different projects on the same album. But we told them don't talk about each other. Like, we come down there and do this to you, and we come up there and do this. We made them go, can't do none of that. Keep it all peaceful, and let's just do it. And that blew up. That was a hot album. But it led to a lot of controversy too after that.
And also,
so that was it.
Oh, my apologies, Chedda.
No, we saucy. We chilling. I'm just sitting back tapping the sticks and that good fire. You know that West Coast shit, man. Very.
Yeah, man, I gotta say, we don't got weed like that down here in Canada, man. I've actually tried California Chronic, and my God, dude, it definitely makes you permafried. It definitely messes you up.
Oh, yeah, this right here I've been sampling for the last couple months. Me and my partner, Troy P, coming with a strand. That started started Butt Naked with one of the CEOs and founders. So we got a new strand called Ghetto Soldiers that we working on, weed strand. And I've been checked about 5 different ones, but it's 2 of them that we right now torn between which one gonna be the best. So this is it right here, that Ghetto Soldiers, Chronic.
And also, as well, you were actually the CEO and founder of Team Chedda Entertainment, as you mentioned earlier on in the interview. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this phenomenal company, and of course, what services do you offer to the general public? That way they can hit you up, you know what I mean, and possibly work with San Francisco's own.
Oh, yeah, the Team Chedda Entertainment, because I own Butt Naked Records. I'm the CEO and founder of Butt Naked Records. So I started that. So that's still active. And so then I slid off. There was a few problems with the paperwork at first. So I was like, fuck it, I should do Team Chedda Entertainment. So I did Team Chedda Entertainment for 2000 on my CD, So Serious About Mine, but still under the umbrella of Butt Naked. But I just didn't put it on the back of my CD. So Team Chedda Entertainment is the music, and like I got the podcast going and I got the clothing going, all under that umbrella. But as far as the music, yeah, I'll be signing artists next year, coming into next year, and then like that, it became Chedda with probably a good distribution deal through one of these companies. I've been looking at paperwork. A lot of people been trying to sign me right now, distribution deals and shit.
And also, as well, man, on February 2nd of last year, you actually released the phenomenal 8-track album titled Pray For Me. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about this phenomenal record. And of course, where can we actually buy or stream it today?
Pray For Me was a project I did. Pray For Me, it got a little story history to it. So Pray For Me, I got caught, I've been in some trouble, I got caught, was in a little trouble in Ohio back in the day. So, and got caught up in some bullshit. So, I went to jail. They didn't give me a bail. They finally gave me a bail, 100,000 cash. I bailed out and I went on a run. So when I went on a run in 2006, I was on a run for 3 years. I started going crazy, doing music every day. Every day I had a studio in Ohio. I was doing music every day. So then I got caught. So when I got out, after doing 6 years in prison in Ohio, after I got out in 2014, I found like 40 songs. My man said, man, I still got your music. I was, hell nah. He pulled up like 40 songs. G-Man had it. Pulled up like 40 songs, and then I picked like the best ones. What was it, 8 of them, and then I just put it out real quick. Pray For Me. And then when I got out on DistroKid. Yeah, but that whole project I was doing on a run. Songs in St. Louis. Most of the work was done in Ohio. And then I got back out here. G-Man did a couple songs because he be doing production as well.
And I gotta say as well, it definitely is a phenomenal project, man. Like, I would have actually never even known that it was actually previously recorded stuff, man. I gotta say, it's definitely very well put together.
Yeah, I did that literally in '06 and '07. Because in '08, I probably did 1 or 2 songs, but them ain't the ones on there. But them songs right there is from '07. Right there, I did that. And I like all my music. When I did So Serious About Mine, everybody used to say I was ahead of my time. Like, I didn't understand it, and they finally catch it. Like, now it's still going good. So Serious, I just sold 4 CDs online last week. Like, damn, 20 years later, it's still selling. But you have to pray for me. That's all '06 shit on the run. Just going ham, just trying to stay out of jail. The police kicking in doors from California, St. Louis, Ohio, Philly, looking for me.
Hey, but they couldn't catch the Cheddaman.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, I had too much cheddar. You know, you gotta have a few dollars to stay on the run for 3 years. I don't give a fuck who you. You gotta have a few dollars. And I swear to you, I had it.
And also, as well, your most recent release is actually a single that you actually sent us just a few days ago as well, titled The Veteran, that I'm going to be playing immediately following this interview right here on the Canadian FM dial. And I was wondering, for the listeners that haven't already had the opportunity to hear this phenomenal joint, what can they expect from it when I play it here on the radio station momentarily after our broadcast?
Some real gangster, thorough, West Coast, down to earth, ghetto soldiers. The level is all ghetto soldiers. Like, and everything I'm speaking is facts. From everything from my case, from the police and the shit taking 750,000 cash from me, from the drugs to the Mexicans. Like, everything I'm saying is in my paperwork. So I ain't saying nothing that ain't off, from the Mexicans with the kilos to the 750,000 to the, like, so everything is, I only spit real shit. That's why I don't come out with too much music no more. Because if it ain't real, but since this is already documented, and then my lawyer gave me the clearance that I can release it, so I ain't gonna get back at me. So everything I said is already was part of my caseload. So this is out speaking on that. This Cheddaman, a veteran, because, like, say 53 years old, I've been in the streets since I was 11, running from the police since 11, hustling. So I'm a veteran. Fuck that. I'm standing on it. You feel me?
And I gotta say, I definitely checked out this joint, man, when you sent it. And I gotta say, it's absolutely phenomenal, man. I've been listening to it all weekend, man, and I'm excited to show the listeners, if they haven't already had the opportunity to hear it, man, because they're definitely in for a treat.
Yeah, that's good looking. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be having doubt, like, man, I'm old as hell, 52 years old, still trying to rap and shit, doing this shit. Then I think about it. Then I call 40. Me and E40 will get on the phone, talk for about 30 minutes, and then or I talk to Too Short. We call each other on the phone, and I'll be, man, you old asses. Fuck that. I'm back in it. And then so they like telling me to stay in it. We ain't do this shit. We ain't doing nothing. So I dive completely back in it and did that and put a video out with it. But other than that, that's gonna be my only problem. Sometimes I be thinking I'm getting too old for this shit. But then like my kids said, if you wasn't doing it before and just tried to do it, you'll look kind of corny. At 50, talking about a rapper. But since I've been doing it since the 80s, 90s, it's just part of the hobby, just my hair, my flow, my history. And then it still get me, because I be still youngsters, 17, 18, never heard of me, but their parents did, and they still want me on song. Like, I got like probably 16 features in my computer right now with beats I ain't turned back in yet. It just be amazing me, like these youngsters want them to still listen to my music and want me doing verses on their albums. That shit be real, kind of shedding tears on other issue. For real.
And I gotta say, in my personal opinion, man, the way I look at things, man, a lot of people put an age to like artists and whatnot, man. I look at it like this, you know, with hip hop, everyone's biased, unfortunately, man. If you even look at other artists from other genres, like look at Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones, man. Like he's like 90 and he's still doing, you know. At the end of the day, I look at it like this: as long as you can spit, flow, have that breath control on the microphone, and can still do your stuff. Heck, man, keep blessing us with that dope music, and and us real fans are definitely gonna keep purchasing it and streaming it like no tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, no doubt. That's mad love. That's the shit that keep me pumped. Like, I got some deals, like I just said, that's coming across the table now, like some Empire shit, do another label and shit, some subs and guys in them. Like, I ain't been, but I put it out there now since this interview. So, I mean, I just signed a contract today. I ain't gonna say for how much, but I literally, on right hand up, just signed a contract with Empire and through another label. So, shit finna be looking good for the new year. Like I said, I'm gonna go back in, spend a few dollars, and just do it. I talked to Master P not too long ago. He told me to keep my head up and let's stay doing this shit. You know, when he was doing it out here in the back, I've been messing with him way back. So I stay in touch with all my old heads.
But I have to ask, man, other than this phenomenal deal with Empire that you just inked today, and obviously, you know, the ink's still wet by the sounds of it, man, but what is next for yourself other than that deal, man? Like, is there any new projects, anything else we happen to miss that you still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the Canadian Dial this evening.
Yeah. Besides that song right there with the shit I just signed with both these labels, Empire Distribution and another big label, GT and all that. So I got a lot of projects in the cook now. So the stuff I was half-ass doing, I'm getting in the studio next month and just gonna fill it all up. And then my brother produced the track. My real brother, same mama, Penny Beats. He did the track that on Cheddaman a Veteran. He got a studio at his house. So he just sitting there and made tracks. So I let him be my upcoming track, bringing me back out of retirement. But he got a lot of stuff in the works. And he got beats and shit. He ain't ready to sell them yet, but they coming. And so we got a lot of music coming. Beats, music artists. I got 40 and all of them. Everybody on deck ready to do some music. I got new music with Quinn, Black Sea, RBL. Like, I got some shit doing. So I'm going to drop it. I'm just timing it right because I don't want to just do it without the right promotion. Because, you know, I'm from the era out the trunk. Consignment on the CDs, putting posters up now is the click of the button, the internet. And it's hard to keep up with these youngsters every 2 days with a new song. So, but it's coming. We got a gang of shit coming. There's a lot of money behind this one this time. Just like the old days, we're going to get it done. Team Butt Naked Records, Team Chedda is up. GT Distribution and Empire Ghazi. We got it. It's on lock. I just signed the contract. Ink ain't dry today. Just today, about 3 o'clock p.m. this evening. So, it's up. He's first to hear it. Besides my wife, I sold her the contract, but because y'all the first to hear it right now. The world, I ain't told nobody.
And I got to say quickly, man, congratulations on that, man. Empire is really taking over the music industry right now, man. Empire's really the place to be.
No, yeah, and then they right here in Frisco too. Yeah, like I say, before when I did the first project before it blew up into Empire, it was on the label Orchard, which was owned by them, and then they switched to Empire or something, and then I'm just getting back around through another label just signed me today, called and did the contract. But they got the Empire distribution and got me running through their Empire distribution with them. So releases should be dropping shit, the first of the year. Videos, like, I'm going to just keep it pumping like them youngsters. Just keep flooding. And the GS2 coming out. I'm putting the Ghetto Soldiers 2 out, still strictly, sickly. And that's it. But that'd be hard because there's so many people want to get on that. And even 25 years later, still want to be part of that legacy. It'd be hard to pick who. But like with all these new artists we got, it should be popping. Frisco on the map right now. From every neighborhood in the city. There's so many artists to name, I don't want to leave nobody out. But let's just say San Francisco, California is on a rise right now. We on a motherfucking rise, and I'm on the boat. Get me there too. Fuck that. We going. We going. I'll feed off these young. Since I'm Unc, OG, whatever they want to call me, I'm gonna have to stand on it and let's get us there.
But also, Cheddaman, this is actually the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves. Right before we wrap things up, man, just a chance for the individual to give, like, shoutouts to whoever they want to give shoutouts to. But most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on the Cheddaman if they're not already doing so.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, y'all can contact me. Everything is L-Chedda, like L-Chedda. From TikTok, L-Chedda. Facebook, L-Chedda. Instagram, L-Chedda. Like every social, YouTube, L-Chedda. Anything is everything is, I got my name on everything. No different. Everything I was able to get L-Chedda on. So any streaming platform is L-Chedda. I was able to lock all that shit in with that name. So L-Chedda, L-C-H-E-D-D-A, and that pop right up on the screen. Everything you'll be able to get. And then I got a new podcast coming out called Chopping It with Ched. So it's going to be about starting out here in San Francisco, talking to people, and I'm going to branch out into the Bay, and then I'm going to go wide, state to state after that. So that podcast will be coming in January, or probably first week of February, Chopping It with Ched. Yeah.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Chedda, thank you so much, man, for just giving us a little bit of your time here this evening and sliding into the 97.7 FM airways, man. It definitely was an honor and most definitely a privilege to welcome such a legendary, iconic West Coast hip hop artist, man. I'm definitely looking forward to what is coming from you in the future, man, because I gotta say, I'm definitely excited.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Thank you. Shit, with my old ass helping keep me out of retirement homes and shit. Yeah, this is shit that keep me from getting it. I ain't got to go in them motherfuckers right now, man. Keep me out them retirement homes. I still spit this shit. So big ups to you, mad love, salute to you and the whole country, Canada, everything, man. People really looking out. That shit be bringing tears to my eyes because I'm human, organic. I am not a bot. You feel me? It should be sensitive to me, make me the real ones feel it, and they should be helping me out, and I salute you, man, big time. Man, I love this shit.
I gotta say, man, thank you so much, man. Honestly, I grew up listening to your music, man, so just being able to converse with you and help you promote your newest projects, man, mean a lot to me as well, man. So the feeling is definitely mutual, man, and I hope this interview can actually bring you a crap ton of record sales, man, in the future as well, when people actually hear the replay of this throughout the years.
Oh, yeah, that I definitely appreciate all that. And at the same time, I was going through trying to find new management and shit since I got these little deals coming. I wasn't going to say, but yeah, management, anything, from marketing team, we tap in with me through any of them, DM me through any of them social media sites, with the L-Chedda on attached to it. and let me know what y'all doing. Me and my team we looking over now, trying to scout some shit out. Best management for the new year, and just not distribution, but management and marketing people, because we finna go blow up again. Like I say, so thank you. This is a big start. It's been a good day, from out to signing the contract today to doing the interview, and just the Lord allowing me to wake up.
And I gotta
And
say,
get no better than that.
oh man, I hear you loud and clear on that one, Chedda. But I gotta say, man, thank you so much again for just taking the time out of your busy evening, and I hope down the line we can definitely make this happen again sometime soon, man. Again, congratulations on that phenomenal record deal, man. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see what comes out from yourself and Empire, man. That's freaking huge. Congratulations again, brother.
All right, thank you so much, man. And anytime, and I got some new projects coming. I'm gonna make sure you the first one to have it rocking in on your station out your way, man. Let you be the star of this shit. Cause you helping me, so we only can right to help each other. So as soon as I get this new release in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna get it to you. We can do it again. It's on you, man. I'm gonna let you guide me back through this shit.
Hey, man, most definitely, Chedda. If you send it, we here in Canada are most definitely gonna spin it.
Yeah, sure. Shouts out to Canada. I love y'all. And I'm right here, man, 52 years old, still pumping good music ever since 1991.
And I gotta say, Chedda, again, man, thank you so much, and definitely have yourself a wonderful night out there in San Francisco.
All right, you too, man. You stay safe, man. Stay outdoors. Indoors, man. It's crooked out there. You feel me? Let's live a long time and stay happy.
Hey,
I'm here.
Most definitely, man.
All right, down. I'm up. Okay.